Morning folks, I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School. What I thought we'd do today is we would start working on our cooking series with some simple Bushpot meals. And when I mean simple, I mean simple. You don't have to carry a whole lot of things to cook in a Bushpot. You don't have to carry lots of different cooking accoutrements to cook in your Bushpot. You can do it very easily. The trick to it is a selection of the foods that you carry. And I'm going to show you a couple of pre-packaged, pre-cooked foods and some powdered dry goods that you can carry with you that make bush cooking very, very simple, very easy, and very enjoyable on the back end, which is the best part, is eating the food after the fact. Stay with me. All right, so we got a fire going now, and I've got a bag of dried soup greens. You can buy these at a lot of the bulk food stores and things like that. This came from an Amish shop, and it's just greens that have been dehydrated. Mix them up real good. It's just a bag of freeze-dried vegetables, and I've got 8 ounces of water in here, and I'm going to put, with that 8 ounces, 2 heaping spoonfuls, just a regular US military spoon, probably a little bigger than a tablespoon, 2 of those full. Then I'm going to put the lid on this, and we're going to put it in the fire and let it boil to rehydrate those vegetables. Now you're doing this kind of stuff while your fire is burning down to coals. If you're trying to cook anything that you're going to fry or that you need low heat to cook, anything like that, you want to get anything that you can boil out of the way while you have a raging fire and you're getting everything down to cooking coals. That's why we're doing the boiling of these vegetables now, because we're not going to need that raging fire for everything else. Now for these quick Bushpot recipes, we're trying to utilize things that we can carry that are dry goods that aren't going to go bad, or things that are kind of pre-cooked. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a package of Uncle Ben's Creamy 4 Cheese Rice, and we're not going to use the whole package. This is 2 meals. We've got some Tyson chunk white chicken, fully cooked and packaged, again, 2 meals. And we've got some Old El Paso hot and spicy taco sauce. This is about $1. This stuff's about $1, maybe $1.50, and this stuff's about $3. So with that, you're going to get 2 meals out of this. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to take this pre-cooked stuff that's in bags, and we're going to put it inside our Bushpot, just like this for now. And we're going to add about a half a Bushpot of water. And this water will be fine after we've used it. We can use this water again. We're not dirtying it any. We're just using it to heat these bags of food. And we'll hang that over the fire. Now we're using the advantage of our swing arm cook set here. The circle that holds a pan will actually hold our cup tilted just a little bit sideways with the handles out, the butterfly handles out. So we're using it to just elevate it up off the base of the fire to get the maximum heat transfer to boil that liquid. And then we've got our Bushpot hanging on the other arm. We've put some bigger pieces of wood in there now so that we can build up a coal bed to use to bake with here in a few minutes. I'm going to show you a trick for baking with your Bushpot. So let's get our stuff heated up, and then we'll show you how to mix the ingredients together to make yourself an awesome Tex-Mex type dinner. All right, so let's take a look at these veggies here. Just move the swing arm over a little bit. Pop this lid. Just like that. See what we got there. Stir that dude up a little bit. It's looking real good. Real good. Pop our lid back on there. Push it back over there in the fire. That's the advantage of that swing arm, is you can pull it in and out of that fire as you need to. Pull it completely out of the way and let it cool down, or if you need to get into it or something like that and you don't want to get burnt by the fire while you're doing it, you can pull that thing completely out of the way. I got a little bit of wood stacked on top of it right now, building up a coal bed, but it's not a problem to move that thing around if you need to. All right, we've got the water to a rolling boil around our chicken and rice here, so we can just let that boil for a couple minutes and it's going to be ready to use. And we'll pull it off and we'll start to prepare that with the veggies, and we'll talk a little bit about how we're doing things and in what order. And we're going to bake here in just a minute, and it won't take very long to do that either. Make ourselves a nice little biscuit to go with our dinner. Easy stuff. Okay, so now remember I told you this water right here, it ain't hurt none. And this food's warm, and this food's warm. So we're gonna take this water, we're gonna put it right back in this pot for now, or in this bottle for now. And it's good and hot. And we're gonna turn this pot upside down and let it dry out a little bit. We're gonna need that pot, and we're gonna need this lid here in a minute. We're gonna need our stove stand for our bush pot. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a package of complete buttermilk biscuit mix. This is just add water. Again, you don't need to use the whole thing, and you have a bag here to keep it in. So just tear it open at the top, just like this. And little clips that you use for papers work really good for closing these back up and putting them back in your bag. And all you're going to do here is you're going to pour just a little bit of water in here, and you're going to mix it up. And you're going to form a ball in there that's going to become your biscuit when you're done. So just mix that up real good until you get a biscuit ball in there. Looks just like that. And then we'll let it sit for a second and we'll get the stove ready. Okay, so the next step in this puzzle is we're going to take this bush pot lid, and this is going to become our cooking surface. So we're going to get in here and get that biscuit we just made out of here. Get him in a good tight ball here. If he's got a little bit of extra flour on him, that's okay. Not going to hurt anything. Take that dude and set him right there, right in the middle. Just kind of shore him up a little bit, just like that. Then fold your bag over and close it up and get it sealed with some type of paper clip or something for the next time. Wipe the dough off your hands. Now you take this and you put your bush pot right on top of it, just like this, and this becomes our oven. Now we'll carry this to the fire. All right, so for our biscuit, we're just going to take something that we can rake coals with, and it can be a stick. We don't have all this cook set stuff, it doesn't matter. But we don't want these big burnt pieces that are still burning. What we want is the coals underneath. This stuff right here is what we want. And we're going to pull a bit of those coals out here, just like this. We're going to set our bush pot stand right on top of those coals, just like that. Put our bush pot on top of it, just like this. And then we're going to pull the rest of the stuff in. Again, we don't want the wood that's on fire, we just want the coals. Now you can use whatever you want to use for this. You can use your cup, whatever the case may be. Just rake some coals up, get them up on top. Get everything raked up around real good. That's not on fire. Get the stuff that's still burning off to the side. Use that for your campfire. You just want cooking coals right now. Insulate that real good. Heat rising up. Heat on the top. You'll be in pretty good shape. 5-6 minutes is all that's going to take to be done. All right, so while our biscuit's cooking, now we come over here and get everything else ready. Now remember, we've got these vegetables in here, but we also have a straining device right here, and we don't want to lose this liquid because, man, that is some good stuff. We want to drink that vegetable broth. We definitely don't want to get rid of it. It's good for us. So we'll set everything aside here for a minute. And we're going to get a little bit of this chicken out, first of all. Get it on the plate. Just like that. save half of it. Again, same deal. Paper clip, good to go. Come in here and grab some of this rice, open the bag, same deal. Paper clip and we're done. Get half of it scraped onto the plate, just like that. Fold it over, paper clip. Take your Old El Paso sauce here, or your Old El Paso powder, get it opened up. You may have to use a knife for this because it don't look like it's got a tear spot. There it goes. Now you can just tear a corner of that. You'll be good. Sprinkle some of that on there, not too much, and get that mixed up real good. And you're going to smell that chili powder. And that chili powder is going to warm you right up. I mean, it's hearty. It'll warm your guts up real fast. And you can just season that to taste with that powder. Get that all mixed together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our vegetable juice. We're going to pour that right into this. We're going to strain it right off into here, just like this, because we're going to drink that. And once we strained it off, then we're going to get in here and we're going to get some of those veggies out, some of that broth. We're going to mix that in, just like this. Now you got a Tex-Mex plate here that is unbelievable. Now all we're going to do is get our biscuit and we're going to be ready to eat. Okay, so now we're going to come over here. We spun our pot around now so the handles are toward us, and that's easy enough to do. It spins pretty easy. And we're going to wipe the ash and the coals off the top of the pot. And then we're going to slide it off just like this into our hand with our glove and take it over to a flat surface. Okay, so once we get him over here, now we can kind of pull the bottom off. Check him out. Nice and golden brown on the bottom. Feels like it's not quite done on the top. And if that's the case, then just take that dude and set it right back in the fire. Just right on top, and just let the top cook. Flip it over, just like that. Set it right back on that stove stand. Alright, so we'll set that dude on that stove stand for just a couple minutes. We got plenty of hot embers under there still. We'll let her sit for a couple minutes and then we're going to call it good. Alright guys, so here we go. Rufus is anxious. Biscuit is just perfect. Look at that thing. Perfectly done on the inside. Breaking apart. Oh man. Want some? Come on. Come on. Oh man. Okay, so this was a very, very hearty meal. In fact, Rufus is waiting for more right now. I'm going to give him a shovel here while I'm talking. There you go, buddy. Don't get too greedy. It doesn't take a lot to fix a meal like this, and the reward on the back end is you're warm, you get some spices in you to warm you up throughout the night, you feel good, you've got lots of energy. It doesn't cost a lot of money to be able to cook like this in the field, and it doesn't really take a lot of space in your pack to cook like this in the field. This is enough food just in those 2 or 3 small packets that we used for this meal for 2 meals. So if you carry double that, you've got enough for 4 meals. And you add a little bit of trail mix or something like that that you can snack on throughout the day to that, and you've really got something for a 2-3 day trek in the woods. That's not going to take a lot to carry, but it's much, much more enjoyable to eat and almost no hassle to cook. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters and the Pathfinder School. I appreciate you joining me for this video out here today. I appreciate everything you do for our school, for our business, for our family, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys. Ready for some more, Rufus? I know you are. There you go. There you go. Go ahead.